Hi everyone. 2024 was amazing. I beat all the major indexes once again, and I want to share my picks for 2025. But before that, I want to recap my 2024 trades and also some of the lessons I've learned. So, on March 14th and on July 9th, I called for long Bitcoin and MicroStrategy. Both those trades would have easily outperformed the market and yielded amazing returns. But the biggest lesson I learned in this was that my first call on March 14th, both Bitcoin and MicroStrategy were well ahead of their earlier bases. And buying a stock that just so overextended, while it can go farther and get more overextended, a lot of times it just sits and consolidates. And I think that was just the main thing, is that it needed a lot of time to rest. And it was essentially dead money for a good period of time. I already knew that you shouldn't really buy stocks that are overextended, but I think the lesson to be put forth for someone like myself would really be just to hold off on the fear of missing out and hold off on the greed. So July 10th, I called for a long Lulu. This also outperformed the market, and for this trade, I thought the bottom was in based off bearish waning momentum, and sometimes stocks do bottom like that, but a lot of times they need a capitulation move to the downside, and often this is the quickest and most dangerous part of the move. So that being said, it just wasn't a good trade overall. Like, it did outperform the market, but it definitely could have been executed better. On August 7th, I said long Snap. This was at the rock bottom, a perfect call, and I said to use leverage, which I did as well in my account. This is just, it's been an alright trade, definitely good timing. No drawdown at all, but the main issue really is that it's not moved up as much as it can, but that's not too much of a problem. I'm sure time will solve that. September 28th, I said to long Chegg. Now, Chegg is a dying stock that was beaten up by AI mostly, and just the idea that it would kill its business. And the stock was able to run up 50% in quite a short period of time since I called it. It's since came back down, but with these lower quality stocks, they're not long-term or lifetime holds by any means. And then just in December 1st, I called Valera, and since then it's up about 15%, so pretty good call. So yeah, the major lessons really for last year would be just, I think, sell into strength, buy more fear, and just be careful about chasing overextended stocks. Like, breakouts happen and they're always wonderful, but sometimes by the time a stock's ready to break out, it's just so overextended that it needs to gather itself. So I released a video 6 days ago talking about my picks for 2025, namely P6, which is just a power play with the AI revolution. Super undervalued. I think it has a lot of room to go. And then my second pick is Snap. And Snap, I think 2025 will be its chance where it's going to see some sort of profitability. Not on a full year basis, but on a quarterly basis. We're going to see Snapchat Plus keep improving and help the business. And then this is just some sort of kind of call option just on the idea is TikTok ban potentially happening. That, I'm not sure how likely it is. There's a bunch of conflicting information, but for the most part, it's not super important, but a TikTok ban would definitely supercharge the returns. Some stocks that I'm looking to buy are Hims, which is just a telehealth company. It's growing really, really quickly, but the price is all right now, but I'd like to buy on a very wonderful price, and I think that might be able to come after the compounded GLPs are no longer able to be made. And I think when that happens, a company like Hims can see a very sharp correction, and that would just be a great opportunity to get in. With Valera, I'd really like to get in more if just oil prices kind of crash or something comes that can cause a correction. It's a really, really great oil and gas play that's super undervalued. I really dislike oil and gas, but this is just one of those companies you can't ignore. So the price right now is fine, but certain scenarios can definitely make it see a better price. Another one I want to look at to enter is Next Vision. It's traded on the Tel Aviv, and the company is just cameras for drones essentially. It's growing rapidly, very undervalued, and buying now also wouldn't be a bad opportunity by any means. But what I want to really look for is some sort of peace deal, some sort of ceasefire. Maybe Trump can broker that in some sort of way. And just off of that, all these companies related to war drones, they're going to take quite a hit. And if that happens, I'd really like to jump in Next Vision. I think it's just a really wonderful company. And then as for another company I'm looking at, it's Pinduoduo, just a Chinese company. It's very undervalued, especially relative to the growth. I think Chinese companies, for the most part, I don't like them. They're almost always traps. But I don't know, the valuation is very compelling. And if I was to buy it, I would definitely want to buy when I do feel like it can either gain momentum, or I'd want to hedge it with something like a poor man's covered call strategy and just make sure that like my money's not sitting dead. Because with a lot of these Chinese stocks and just undervalued stocks in general, often they lack a catalyst, they lack something to further push the price, and you buy it and your money's just sitting dead for way too long. So there's that. And yeah, those are mainly what I'm thinking about for 2025. I'm sure more ideas will come and more picks will come, but for now, I think those are just some of the most robust companies that just are really underappreciated or undervalued. And with that being said, every company's good at the right price. And some of those companies, they're at decent prices, but I think with the endless opportunities in the market, you should really be buying only things that look excellent. And with that being said, these ones, they will be excellent at some point. So for now, I'll hold off on them. But yeah, that's my list for 2025. Thank you guys all for watching this video. I wish you luck, and I hope you all can beat the market this year.